Absolutely. Sarah, I've been lucky enough to visit a lot of core laboratories in my visits to customers who use organomation equipment. And you're certainly able to focus on a lot of important issues, interesting topics, whether it's THC and CBD and hemp samples, battery development. Could you talk about some of the advantages of working in a university core lab and all the interesting projects you get to work on?
Yeah, absolutely. So a core lab has a lot of advantages. The fact that we have a team of varied expertise, right? Everyone that's on the team comes from different backgrounds, different experiences, and we can leverage the entire university campus and the knowledge added and the capabilities added as well, the resources to assist our customers with whatever they need to have analyzed. So we have a huge network that we can work with. Another big advantage, especially at the University of Nevada, Reno, is that our core labs have what is called the in-breed network. And this is basically access to core labs, not just at the university itself, but to all the universities in the Western region. So if we can't, at our core lab, assist with the analysis, we can always send it out to another lab, maybe at a different university that can assist as well. Another big advantage of core labs is that we typically have very generalized and specialized equipment that labs like, say, Morgan's can't or won't buy, but we can because we have the usage that can justify the cost. And then we can also take on that maintenance cost as well. The labs that maybe only use that equipment once or twice a year doesn't really justify the need to buy that, whereas we can house that for the users. So core labs have a lot of different advantages, right? Different networks, a lot of capabilities, access to a lot of different resources, and that allows us to work on a lot of different projects, as you mentioned. So one of the things that we have worked on in the past is looking at THC and CBD and hemp samples. My lab specifically, the Core Analytical Lab at the University of Nevada, Reno, is an agriculturally focused lab. So we work under the Nevada Experiment Station as well as with the USDA Agricultural Research Service. So we really are meant to be agriculturally focused. That said, we do assist with anything that we can. But as a result, our projects are agriculturally focused. And so we do look at these hemp samples. UNR is trying to develop and genetically modify hemp to have Nevada as being a future hemp producer for textile fiber. But in order for it to be sold as hemp, right, it has to meet a certain threshold for CBD and THC. So we do a lot of testing on that material to make sure it meets regulation. We've done quite a bit of work with mining industries in the West, looking at their waste, their mining waste, to make sure it meets regulations for contaminants, not only metals, but anions as well. We've looked at ore extracts for exploration. Nevada is becoming the newest lithium producer. There's a huge multi-billion-dollar deposit of lithium up in the North Nevada region. So we're working with a lot of lithium battery development companies in the region, as well as faculty on campus who need that type of service as well. So we're, looking at HPLC analyses, ion chromatography analyses as well. And then we're working with our nutrition faculty like Matt to look at metabolomics. So those really small molecules like short chain fatty acids or amino acids that are found in urine or blood or feces, and trying to understand, how that might impact health in various regions. We get a lot of requests from people to basically look at their products for purity or verify that it is what they think it is. So we work with a lot of different types of analyses, and we're currently working on pesticide residue methods as well. Again, being an agriculturally focused lab, that's a big request for us to make sure that pesticides are not making it onto crops that are being consumed by humans.
I don't know a whole lot about the THC CBD market, but what I do know from some people in the space is that there's occasionally a big gap between what's marketed on the product versus what's actually contained in the product. And there's a very interesting botanical reference laboratory that we work with in California, and their whole business is literally just trying to quantify the active ingredients and comparing that to what's marketed, because all of those products need FDA validation that whatever the active ingredient is in that specific amount is actually in the product. Not whether the product works, not whether it'll help you lose
Right.
weight or do whatever, but if it's stating it's this amount of green tea extract, that's actually the amount that's in the product.
Exactly. Yeah, adulteration is a big problem in the commercial market. So as an example, so half of my job here at the university is actually as a mercury research scientist, and I'm director of the core lab, the other half. But I've leveraged our core labs on this campus to do my own independent research. And so we were looking at adulteration in pet food products and to make sure that what is actually on the ingredient label was in the can. And we found out that there was quite a bit of adulteration in the pet food commercial industry, which is really disappointing. But these are the types of facilities that can assist with that type of analysis to look at FDA regulations and make sure they're being met.
You talked about your customers in general. What would you say the split is between university and outside university?
Yeah, the Core Analytical Lab's mission is to basically be a training and analytical facility for the university, not just University of Nevada, Reno, but we are also a sister campus to UNLV, University of Nevada, Las Vegas, as well as a couple other institutions. We're really meant to serve the faculty and students at those. However, like I said, if we have the capabilities to help whomever, we're going to help. And so I would say currently our split is about 50-50, university versus external private companies, but that changes drastically from month to month. It really just depends on project needs at that time and who's reaching out and who can help.
That's very interesting. You mentioned HPLC specifically. Is that the type of chromatography that you're doing most commonly?
Yeah, so I would say the bulk of our work is actually spectroscopy based. We do a lot of inductively coupled plasma mass spectrometry and inductively coupled plasma optical emission spectrometry. But in terms of chromatography, it varies month to month. Again, it really just depends on what's coming through the door, who needs what at that time. Recently, most of our chromatography work has been GCMS. It's actually we've been working with Matt quite a bit on their needs. And then we have another team in biochemistry who's looking at haloacetic acids in urine, I believe. And so we have some of that going through the GCMS as well. So it really just depends. But we run HPLC GC. We have an HPLC triple quad mass spec, but that doesn't get a whole lot of use at the moment.
Is there anything else you'd like to share with the audience about the Core Lab?
We're here to help. Reach out to us. We're happy to help however we can. Yeah, we're fee for service, and you know, we're available. And if we can't help you, we'll connect you with whoever can help you.
Very good, Sarah. I appreciate the time today. Thank you.
Thanks, David.